Hey, you got a business card on you? Can I get a business card? Depending on your age, that may seem like a very odd thing to ask someone, or it may seem very commonplace. Business cards were ubiquitous 10 years ago, maybe even 5 years ago. You go out to a conference, everybody's passing around business cards, and then COVID happens. Nobody's getting together, nobody's meeting face to face, and business cards, they dropped off 70% during the peak of the pandemic. 70% of business card orders were dropped. And it's leading some people to ask the question, are business cards still relevant? This is a interesting and somewhat tough topic for me. Generally, I am someone who adopts technology and tries to avoid paper at all costs. But I have to say that a business card fills a certain purpose and niche, and it is kind of hard to replace it with technology in many instances and in many applications. I'll give you an example. 2 summers ago, I was looking to have work done in my basement. I wanted to get the carpet ripped out and the floors replaced. Contractors and home laborers, they were really hard to find. And it just so happens that somebody was getting work done in my neighborhood when I was walking my dog, and they were like cutting wood in the driveway. And I walked over and said, hey, do you guys do you put laminate floors in or whatever? And they're like, yeah. Can I get a business card? Yeah. Put it in my pocket, called the guy later, left him a voicemail because I knew he was working at the house, gave him my contact information, gave him my address, and they popped over, gave me a quote, and I got the work done. Business card. Came in handy, kept the guy's business card, put his contact information in my phone, and subsequently, I've given that guy's contact information out to a bunch of different people. But there was a critical part to that story. The first thing that I did when I got his business card, I put it into my phone. That's a translational step. Now you've taken something that is physical paper and you've turned it into digital information. Not everyone does that. And that lack of transition from the paper to the digital creates a lot of waste. 27 million business cards are created every single day. 7 billion business cards are made throughout the year. They need 7 million trees to make all of those business cards. And 90% of the business cards that are made immediately go into the trash. That seems very wasteful. Save the trees. Save the trees. This video isn't going to be a rambling diatribe on business cards. I'm actually going to show you something useful in this video. Old school business card. Programmable NFC card. This is the future in my opinion. There are services popping up like a company called Linq, Linq.com, and PopL, PopL.com, where people can go out and buy these really nice, you can get like a bamboo business card, and you only need to buy one because you can get that business card and you could just tap it to your phone and the contact information gets transmitted over to your phone. The big item with a business card is to get that information and to convert it into digital information so you don't lose the card and you have it in there. These NFC cards, they do that for you, which is pretty cool. But some of these cards can be rather expensive. Some of them start, I think Linq starts at, $13. Like they're over $10. PopL has very basic cards that are cheaper. They start at $5. This NFC card that I bought on Amazon, I bought a 10-pack for like $7. So they're like 70 or 80 cents. And you can reprogram these. I'm sure you can reprogram the Linq ones too and the other ones, but you can reprogram this. So reusable cards that instantaneously download your contact information into someone's phone. Sounds like a dream, right? Like this is the way to go. In my opinion, it really is the way to go. But there is a final caveat. See this card that I showed you before? I bought this card like 5 years ago, and it actually had it has an NFC sticker built into it. The company that produced this, and what ends up happening is you pay for the cards and they give you like a website where you can upload your contact information to. So it points to that link. Well, guess what happened? The company stopped supporting the service and the link went away. So these cards were effectively useless. Now I did find a way to reprogram them so I could do the same thing, but this card's so old that all the information's all wrong on this card. So when you rely on some of these other services to provide your contact information, to host your contact information, if they go out of business, the card is effectively useless. I'm not saying don't use those cards because they're very nice, right? The Linqs and the PopLs, but it's really easy to make your own. They're like so simple to make your own, and I'm gonna show you how to do it. The first thing you need to do is go to whatever your preferred app store is, if you're on Apple or you're on Google, and then download a application called NFC Tools. Tools with an S, not singular, Tools. It's like an orange circle with a white image in it, so just so you know. Because there's a couple of other tools out there that have very similar names. This is the one you want. You want NFC Tools. And I'll probably show a whole visual overlay while I'm doing this. Then you want to go to a website called vcard.link. This is the thing that is interchangeable. You may find a different version that you prefer. The Linqs and the PopLs of the world do this step for you. This is the thing that may potentially go away. This site that I'm recommending right now may go away. But this is why I'm recommending programming the NFC card this way. There are different ways that you can program these cards. You can literally put contact information using this NFC Tools site. It just creates a contact record, and if you tap it on an Android phone, it works. But Apple won't do that. So you have to do two things. You have to have the contact information in a VCF format for Apple to do something with it, and then you have to have it basically on a hosted link in order for it to work, because it's the only way that Apple basically does anything with NFC cards. If you format the card in a different way and tap it to an Apple phone, it won't do anything. So it has to be formatted as a standard URL link, and that link has to have a VCF file. This website that I'm recommending creates a VCF file for you, and it hosts the VCF file for you, so you could just pass along the link, and it works just fine. Just so you know, this is exactly what PopL does, this is exactly what Linq does, and these sites could disappear, and then you may have to find another alternative. You can always host a VCF file on like Dropbox or your Google Docs and just have a publicly shared link. You could always do that, and those sites probably won't go away. So there are different ways that you can do it depending on what your comfort level is. Yes, it does create a couple of extra steps by doing it manually and not buying the pretty card, but you have a lot more customization and options, and you know exactly how to control it, and you can change it later. But now that you have a link of your hosted VCF file, you have to copy it, and you have to put it in this NFC Tools under the URL section, and then you write that information to the card, and then you're done. And I have to figure out how I'm going to film all of that and show it on the screen. So business cards, they are useful in 2023. People do want to have your contact information, but you know, people also like it when you do the things for them. So if you can figure out a way to easily give them your contact information, you know, like, there it is. If you could do that for them just by tapping your card and make it easy for everyone, I think that's the win, and you're saving 7 million trees potentially, right? If everybody did that and nobody needed a business card. You're not gonna replace business cards though, right? There's just, like, I think about like my dad, like he's never gonna be like, oh sure, just tap your NFC card to my phone. He barely knows how to use his phone. So there's gonna definitely be a section of the population for a while that is expecting cardstock. And also, I love cardstock. I love paper. I love creative designs on a card. I get if someone wants to differentiate themselves and have a really pretty card. I think NFC is the way to go. I think it really does make everything work better. And I also think that there's a certain element of delight in using it, right? You take it out, you tap it on somebody's phone, you're like, oh, this is great, thank you, thanks for the contact information. The joke with the business cards too, by the way, is like as soon as you get a business card printed, like something changes, like your title changes, you change companies, so you never get to use all of your business cards because you end up throwing them out because something changed. This is nice because with an NFC, with a digital business card, you can change your information constantly. So that's really nice. And again, save a bunch of trees, and you're not throwing 500 business cards in the trash. So business cards, yes, they're relevant. I think people should have them. I think people should go digital. I think it will delight people on the receiving end. You don't have to type in someone's contact information, and I think it's much easier. I hope this video was useful to you. I hope you found it interesting, entertaining, and informative, and try to make some business cards. Try to do this because it's a fun, easy project. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll be back with another video in 2 weeks. Take care.